Hey, it's John here. It's about 4:15, maybe 4:19, to be precise. January 3rd? Yep, January 3rd, 2025. Um, I'm sitting here thinking, every time this girl comes home in apartment four, there's chaos downstairs. Boom, bang, boom, 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 for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. Then I'm thinking, okay. So I get the routine, right? Every time she comes home, there's chaos downstairs, and then all of a sudden she pops out of the woodwork in the hallway. Usually there's fistfights, crazy, something going on. Now I want to make myself perfectly clear. Everybody that comes in my apartment, I tell them there's cameras, they're on audio and video. There's a sign on my door. There was, unless they took it off, I don't know. But that says, you are being surveillanced with the cameras and stuff like that. The one is a door chime. It's made for a garage. You stick it on your garage, and when somebody pulls into your driveway, it'll go bing bong in the house to let you know somebody pulled into your garage or into your driveway. So, with that said, being blind, I have that at my door to let me know that someone's coming up to my door. Also, with that said, that every one of them, including the downstairs people, have been at my door. They seem to have a fascination with my door, me, and everything else. What I think is going on is the loud noise is not just to let me know that Skunk Lady is home and her degenerate boyfriend who like to beat each other up in the hallway like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, but it's also to wind me up. And then they illegally record me talking on the phone, screaming into the phone. Usually it's to the maintenance guy or the landlord or to Carson Valley, telling them of their antics. Hey, guess this is what they're doing now. There's loud noise downstairs. They're fist fighting. They're doing this. The last time I recorded both of them inside my apartment through the floorboards, they argued. Well, the girl in apartment four upstairs on my floor argued for 3 hours, and then the lady and her boyfriend took over downstairs for the next 3 hours. So it was a total of 6 hours, which I did pass on to the maintenance guy, Carson Valley, and eventually, the landlord. Now, what I'm saying to all this is I'm not recording them. I'm not trying to record their private conversations. I'm not trying to record into their private areas like they're trying to do to me. Everybody, including them, is well aware of it. She came home about a week ago and dropped a bag. It sounded like, I don't know, jawbreakers in a bag. That's what it sounded like to me. Candy in a bag at my door. Kept walking, walked into her apartment. Her boyfriend's the one that turned around, came back, and peeked under my door as he was bending over to pick up the bag. So they know the cameras are there. They absolutely know they're there. They're playing up to the cameras most of the time. But I overheard her in a conversation last night in the hallway. I did not record it, did not upload it onto the internet. But her and this current boyfriend or whoever he is, or brother, mother, I don't care who he is really, we're talking about setting me up and getting me a sexual assault. Like somebody's going to come up to me and say I tried to touch them or grab them or do something to them. They've been trying to get me out of here since I started saying something to the landlord, because the people downstairs have children, and children and youth should have been notified months ago by the landlord or Carson Valley, because Carson Valley, Children's Aid of Montgomery County, they work with children, should have reported it. Also, the girl in apartment four, the maintenance guy told me that she has a 9-year-old son, which experiences the fist fights, the pot smoking, the drug addiction, the drug addicts in and out, in and out, in and out all night long. Which again is none of my business. It wouldn't be made my business if they would stay out of mine. And this is the reason I'm making it my business, is because periodically, and it happens more often than not, but it's periodic, they will try to set me off. Once I start bitching, I'm calling the cops, I'm calling the landlord, I'm calling children and youth. They'll sneak up the steps and try to record me to make it look like I'm the one that's, initiating all this. When it's them doing it. They want nothing more to have me kicked out of here so they can continue their crackdown. That's exactly what they want. And my take on all this is a home. It's not a Hells Angels clubhouse. It's not a crack den. It's not a 24-hour party. It's not HQ where you can invite your friends to come live with you and charge them food stamps to live here. It's a home. It's my home. I pay rent here. I shouldn't have to see you, taste you, touch you, feel you, or smell you, and that includes your weed. So with that all said, I've been recording for the sole purpose of security. Keeping my self and my possessions here secure from them. They tried breaking into my apartment 2 to 3 times. They came right up to my door and talked about how easy it would be to punch my locks to get into my apartment. Why? I have no idea. They accused me of either tossing or pissing out a window, which my toilet works, and if it didn't, I'd pee in my tub and then dump bleach down behind it until they fixed my toilet. I'm not an animal like they presume me to be. Maybe they're the animals and they came up with that one. There was a homeless guy peeing and pooping down at the front door inside the secure door. How he was getting in, we don't know. I don't know anyway, but I did report it to the landlord when I first moved in. They left it go for a week. They let their kids wander around the hallway, play in the hallway, while other people tracked the pee and poop up and down the steps. And they were fine with that. So they're so concerned about their children. They let them play in the pee and poop. There was a hooker sign on the back door at one point saying no hookers allowed in building, signed Brenda, whoever Brenda was. The Xfinity guy that installed my Xfinity box took a picture of it, and I forget his name, but he worked on this property. So if anybody knows my address, they can look him up and ask him if he has a copy of the picture he took. So that's how bad this area is. There's drug addicts hanging out here all the time. There's homeless people, but obviously hookers too. So could have been none of them that peed off the roof. No, why? It had to be me. So they literally came up to my door, threatened violence, and I recorded this. The girl downstairs threatened me on camera. I'll come up there and smack you. That's threats of assault. This has all been recorded and told to the maintenance guy, the landlord, and Carson Valley. They attacked me more than several times. And now they're using the girl in apartment 4 to basically, again, when she comes on, let's say in the vicinity or on the property, boom, bang, boom, 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 down underneath my bed. You can see my bed right there. Hopefully you can anyway. But usually the noise consists of right under my bed or right here where I'm sitting, right underneath me. But it sounds like you're dropping a bowling ball. Boom, bang, boom. They drop loud shit. And then it'll stop. And then all of a sudden, there she is. She pops up. Isn't that amazing? The crazy girl in apartment 4. Last night, again, she sat on the top step. So when you look out in my hallway, you'll see all the way back the hallway where she lives. But if you go around the corner and go down the steps, that's where she sat right there, trying to record me. So she's filming into a private area, filming my private conversations on my phone, filming what I'm saying in private. There's a difference between security, like a door chime at your door, recording audio and video for sole purposes of 1, security. 2, there's fistfights in the hallway every 3 days. She cut her boyfriend's finger. She's a dangerous person. I mean, both of them are. They grab knives when they fight. They break dishes. They throw stuff. They slam each other through doorways. The maintenance man can contest that they broke either the front door or their apartment door 4 times now. He had to fix it. I mean, that's dangerous. 2 weekends ago, or 2 or 3 Saturdays ago, the guy that was delivering my kitchen table and chairs had to walk out in the middle of that. He stood at the top of the steps as I was saying goodbye to him. They came crashing through their door into the hallway like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. They look at us and say, he's going to call the cops. Well, of course we're going to call the cops. This is not normal. Grow the freak up. So as I was saying goodbye to Mike, the guy pushed past him and ran down the steps. She ran back into her apartment. Now, he could have pushed Mike down the steps. Do you understand what I'm saying? They are dangerous. This is one of the reasons why I'm filming this, because none of this should be going on, let alone her company and the people downstairs standing at my door, looking at my locks, telling me they're going to break in because those are old locks. They're easy to punch. So all this is going on while, they're trying to set me up at the same time. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Carson Valley, the landlord, or the cops need to do something about this girl. And what do? The cops come here and throw me under the bus. When I call the dispatcher, I've called twice on her, the police so far. And the second time, I told the police, I said, I want to remain anonymous for fear of retaliation. I'm 60 years old. I got multiple disabilities. I'm blind. I do not want to be, named in this, so they retaliate. What do? They come here, beat on the door. They call me back, the dispatcher. He says, can you let the cops in? I'm like, no. First of all, I'm multiply disabled. Secondly, it's nighttime and I'm blind. It was like 11 o'clock at night or later. I forget what time it was. And so finally, when the cops do get in, the girl downstairs lets them in, an apartment 2 below me. The first thing the cop does is knock on their door and says, apartment 3, call the cops on you. He threw me right under the bus. So there's no call on the cops anymore. They're useless. They're Barney Fifes. They shouldn't have the one bullet, let alone any bullets. So all trust is gone with the Pottstown police. They're a bunch of backstabbing, low-life scumbags, just like criminals are. So there's no calling them for anything anymore. I'm just going to document, which there may be a law in Pennsylvania where you can't film in public private conversations, but I have right to freedom of the press. I have right to report the news, and this is news. A police officer was just shot in Pottstown, 2 months ago, and guess what he was going out to? Yep, you guessed it, a domestic violence call. Now, this is a domestic violence call the cops are here. The cops are here at least. I lived here 9 months. I'll bet you they've been here at least 10 times over the last 9 months. And that's an under-exaggeration. The ambulance has been here checking them both out, repairing their bullet wound. Well, I don't want to call it bullet wounds. That's over-exaggeration, but scratches and knife marks that they cut each other. The kid just went to the hospital 2 weekends ago for almost a severed finger. She cut his finger. Blamed it on, he was doing dishes and he stabbed himself. Yeah, like the cops can't tell defensive wounds from, an accidental stabbing, right? So, they lie about it and they get away with it over and over and over. And the landlord lets her live here. The landlord lets her continue this. It's escalating. So last night I overheard her saying something about setting somebody up with a sexual assault. Listen, I'm not playing no more games. I am going to call children and youth on these people. I am going to continue to call children and youth on these people until they get them out of here, because she has a 9-year-old son, the maintenance guy told me, and the kid and the people downstairs have like toddlers on up, like up to 5 years old. They're constantly running around downstairs. You can hear them screaming and being neglected while the parents smoke pot all the time. If somebody was drinking around those kids, they'd have their kids taken away from them, right? Under the influence is under the influence. The same laws that apply to alcohol should apply to marijuana. If you get in a car under the influence, you should get arrested for DUI. Drugged under the influence, right? Right? Same law should apply to kids. No grown-up should be inebriated around a small child, teenage child, any kind of child. So children and youth need to step in and take a hair sample or a blood sample of them kids and see how much THC is in their systems. Test some of their clothes, the curtains, the walls, the furniture, the rugs. If anybody doesn't believe me. Bottom line is, I'm tired of trying to do what's right here. This is my home. I should have security, peace of mind, peace and quiet. They called the cops on me because my TVs were too loud. You know why my TV was turned up? Because I was trying to drown out their noise, because they're like a circus, full-blown circus without the music. So 24/7, both families, the one below me and the one back here. You can't hear here sometimes. They stomp up and down the steps like cattle. You know what I mean? Like Clydesdale horses. Clump, 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 clump. That's okay to do, apparently. I've been recording that for months. What does the landlord do? Absolutely nothing, because he's a scumbag. He's a freaking scumbag. Magnum Management. They got 1 star on the Better Business Bureau, I think, because there is no 0 stars. It goes from 1 to 5, I think, or 1 to 4. They can't give him nothing lower. This is why I've been arguing, not arguing, but pleading with him for months to get rid of this girl. She's 95% of the problems in this building. Now, if I get set up with a crime, he is getting sued because I'm not doing anything but complaining about them. I'm not doing anything but reporting this over and over and over about the dimwits downstairs and the dimwit back here. They're annoying. She's dangerous. Do you understand what I mean? But they're all in on it together. So if you're hanging with Al Capone, you're one of Al Capone's boys. They all need to get the hell out of here. So again, I've had enough. I'm going to continue to call children and youth. I'm going to complain to whoever I got to complain to. The maintenance guy also said she's on Section 8. I'm getting ready to turn her into Section 8 with all these videos. I have her fist fighting in the hallway with her son there. So if they're paying her rent because it's a welfare thing and she got welfare because of her kid, well, here comes Section 8 and welfare. I'm tired of it. I want to be left alone. And they do all this. All tonight's antics were done right in front of my door. I'm tired of this. Keep your bullshit in your apartment. If you're coming and going, that's what a hallway's for, not to hang in. She hung in that hallway for almost an hour, sitting on the top step trying to record me. That's ridiculous. That's stalking, harassment, and eavesdropping, if you ask me. There's no reason for you to sit in front of my cameras. None. Zero. Okay, last warning.